What's up, everybody? Welcome into Group Chat Football Live. I'm Peter Ariz, and we have breaking news here on a Monday night as a four-star cornerback has committed to Minnesota, and that's Justin Hopkins. As this news just came in here, as we see from the Hayes Fawcett tweet, Justin Hopkins, four-star cornerback from Nashville, Tennessee, out of Ensworth, a really good program, well-respected program there in Tennessee. And Justin Hopkins, rated as the number 9 player in the state of Tennessee. His finalists were Georgia Tech, USC, and Tennessee. He's the number 303 rated player in the 247 Sports Composite, which encompasses all of the rankings across the board from other websites. Number 22 corner in the country, and again, top 10 player in the state of Tennessee. It didn't seem like he was a priority for Tennessee at this time for whatever reason. I was, going through the Tennessee boards. It seemed like their attitude was, we'll see if Tennessee makes a run at him later. So something to keep an eye on there. But Minnesota really, really like this pickup here in Justin Hopkins. 4-star composite, 247 in their own rankings has him as a 3-star. But as I pull up the huddle here in just a second, this is a 2-sport star. So a guy who plays basketball is the point guard on the basketball team. And interestingly enough, reminds me of a guy from the same high school at Ensworth in Corn Elder, played at Miami years ago. I covered his recruitment when he was at Miami as well. He was drafted by the Carolina Panthers. He was also a point guard, a state champion, 2-sport star, similar size. We'll get into that a little bit more. But when you watch this guy's film, as he's listed as a cornerback on 247, plays a ton of safety, pretty much really all he's playing. But right off the bat here, you see his impact on special teams as a kick returner, making guys miss, right? So obviously it's huddle, so it's a little zoomed out, but weaving through the traffic here, and he ends up finding some free space, and he's going to get into the end zone. So right off the bat, the best athletes usually got to use those guys in the return game. And you see here now an interception. He's playing again. You see the ball skills. You see him playing more as a deep free safety here, listed as a corner, 5'10 and a half, 170 pounds. Plays both ways here. You see him playing wide receiver. So expect him to be a defensive player, but you always like to see someone with the ability to play both sides. Just shows their natural athletic ability. You see him coming across the middle of the field here, wide open, easy touchdown for him. And as these clips continue to play, you'll see more of his ability on the defensive side of the ball. And a guy that, if you're a Minnesota fan, again, you have to be excited about the versatility. Jumps on the ball there, makes a nice play on it. Again, ball skills. You see him making the play against the running back here, covering ground. And that's something that you see on this tape, the ability to cover a lot of ground, making a guy miss here on the sideline. Let me get this off the screen there. But again, you see him here, deep, free safety, middle of the field, making a play on the ball, breaking on it, perfect timing. So we'll see where Minnesota plans to use him. Again, I think it'll be defensively because you see the instincts, but offensively, you see him making guys miss. And then I'll pull up the basketball clips here in just a second because it shows me a lot. You see him getting physical there behind the line of scrimmage, willingness to tackle. And again, offensively, making guys miss. They're getting him the ball out in space. Shows you that he's the best athlete on the team for the most part. Throw it up to him, touchdown. So he's doing it all here on this tape. Again, Ensworth, really good program there in Nashville. See his ability here, making a contested catch. So we'll see what happens. We'll see exactly where they use him at Minnesota. But I think it's going to be here on the defensive side of the ball. You see him getting downhill here, making a nice tackle there. So to me, this is a guy that if you're a Minnesota fan, you have to be thrilled about this pickup. Again, the ball skills are awesome. first skill position player who's committed to Minnesota in this class. We'll get into those, some more details about this Minnesota class in just a second. But I wanted to pull up the basketball clips here too, because I don't think he's a guy who's going to play basketball in college as well. But something I find interesting with a guy like him is he's a real basketball player. This is not a guy who's just relying on his athletic ability out there, blowing by guys, dunking on them. You see the pull-up mid-range jumper there. You see the hesitation here. Real athlete. And we talk about athleticism. It's not just what are they running in track, what's the 40 thing. Look at him here, setting the screen, getting open, hitting the three, team player. This sort of stuff goes a long way. Look at this, throwing the alley-oop here. Wow, what a jam by that dude. We got to find out who that is there. But, and you see the physicality getting to the hoop here, finishing through contact. Minnesota fans might be saying, man, what's this going to do for me on the football field? These skills really translate. That's a hooper right there. You see his body control. You see his ability to finish at the rim. So this is where you see those ball skills as safety come into play. Nickel in his future, a guy who's always around the football potentially. But you see him here again, pull-up jumper to his left, and really looks like a winning basketball player. And great pass there. Winning football player, winning basketball player, winning athlete, a guy that if you're a Minnesota fan, you have to be absolutely thrilled with this addition. And again, like I mentioned it, the first commitment in terms of a skill position player for this Minnesota 2026 class, as I pull it up here, ranked number 30 currently in the 247 composite. And look, you have Andrew Trout as the 4-star highest rated guy in the 247 rankings, Howie Johnson, a couple guys in the trenches there, and then your quarterback Owen Lansu as well. But Justin Hopkins, first skill position guy. So you expect them to start to get some real pickups here, as most teams here in the springtime pick things up. Nick Monroe, primary recruiter on this one, made a couple visits in January to go see him, met with his family, coaches, all that, and it looks like it paid dividends. So Nick Monroe has a really good reputation as a recruiter, and to me, a nice start here. It will be interesting to track this recruitment, right? Again, I said committed to Minnesota over some of these programs such as Georgia Tech, Tennessee, the in-state school, USC, who it didn't seem like he was necessarily a huge priority for them either at this point. But Hopkins, once he gets into a college weight room, right now listed at 5'10.5", 170. And I think once he gets that good weight on, going to go a long, long way for him. And that will come with time. And again, I mentioned the comparison to Cornelder, played at Miami, one of the best players to ever come out of the same program. You see Hopkins, 5'10.5", 170. Cornelder coming out was 5'10.5", 165. Was rated a little bit higher, and this was after his recruiting process. But again, two-sport guy, point guard on the basketball team, 3-time state champ there. So a similar sort of profile to Justin Hopkins here. So we'll see, man. This is a great pickup, I believe, for the Gophers, for PJ Fleck, and for this 2026 recruiting class. If you Minnesota fans were fans of this sort of content, remember to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We cover recruiting, transfer portal, coaching moves, position battles now in spring. We do it all. So hit that like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for watching today.